Javy Guerra was a key part of the Dodgers bullpen for 3 seasons, earning 29 saves from 2011 through 2013. He went on to pitch for 5 more teams, winning a World Series championship with the Nationals in 2019. But it all started right here in Los Angeles. Jaime Maggio caught up with him for this week's edition of Boys in Blue.
Boys in Blue, sponsored by Capozio Buick GMC.
Drafted by the Dodgers in 2004. What do you remember about that day and that moment in time?
Oh, wow. To be honest, I remember Tommy announcing my name, and I thought that was the craziest thing ever, to think that, he would be the one to tell me I was going to be a baseball player,
You end up getting called up. It was, 2011?
2011.
What was that moment like, getting that phone call, going to the bigs?
It was surreal, because it was a Saturday night. I remember going to the field, and I didn't have to throw that day. It was one of those days where I was down. And pitching coach comes inside, and I'm inside, and he's like, "Hey, you have to throw a bullpen today." And I'm like, "Why am I throwing a bullpen? It doesn't make any sense." He's like, "You have to throw a bullpen." So I remember going out there, and he's like, "Do it right. Like, you have to throw these pitches really well." I'm like, "Okay." So we get it over with, and he's like, "All right, you're going to the big leagues. Like, tomorrow, get your stuff ready. You get an early flight. We don't, you got to go to Atlanta to LA." And it was, man, it felt like it was 5 minutes.
What is it like? Do you feel like you have to go in there with this confidence and swagger, or are you kind of like the nervous new guy?
What was really nice is that I had Donnie in the fall league the year prior. And so that helped a lot. I think having played for him a little bit, he was able to kind of already instill in me okay, this is what I expect of you. And I knew that. The day game situation, you flew a red eye from 6 a.m. to get to LA for a 1 o'clock Sunday game. I think you're half tired, but you're so excited. You don't really you don't get to get too high or too low. So I think that helped. And I think realistically the game was, it was 2-1 or 3-1. So I didn't think there was a chance I was ever going to get in. So sure enough, the phone rings and it's you, and that's when the butterflies come. You're just like, oh God, what do I do? And so I think everyone laughed, and I think it was one of those funny things where I ran over. And I remember Rob Flippo, to this day, I still know Rob really well. He was our bullpen catcher. And at Dodger Stadium, you throw it towards the field. I threw this ball as hard as I could, and it went all the way to the mound. And I see Scott turn around, and I just laugh, and everyone's laughing. And he just comes over, he's like, "Hey, you won't be the first, you won't be the last. I've seen it a million times." He's like, "Come on, you're good, let's go." And I just remember that calmed me down more than anything. And it was, I swear you blink and it's over. In
terms of your teammates, who was the best teammate? Who'd you have the most fun with?
Kemp was definitely one of my favorite guys. I mean, we had so much fun. It was a blast. You remember looking back at those times and just laughing, and just, when you see each other, you giggle and you think about things because you think it's going to be forever. And you look back now, 10 years, 15 years ago, who knows? It's crazy.
Who was the guy you always had to keep an eye on because you never know what kind of prank he was going to pull?
Oh, that was definitely, I remember Hideki Kuroda.
What?
I would get these random pictures on road trips of me walking around, just doing random things around the city, or just maybe at the hotel, just a picture of me doing anything, getting a coffee or just whatever. And it would come to my phone. I never knew the number. And I would always respond. Never knew who it was. Had no clue. And I'll never forget, we had a rain delay. It was late in the year. It was 3/4 of the way already in. And I'm sitting in my locker when we're in Atlanta. And I get a picture on my phone from that number, and it's me sitting in my locker looking at my phone, and I turn around and it's him just laughing hysterically. He's like, I got you. I was like, there's no way this guy's done this for 4 months now. It was incredible.
4 months,
oh my God, I could not figure it out. Again, I'm an idiot. How was I supposed to know?
Playing at Dodger Stadium, of course we here in Los Angeles feel like it's a pretty special ballpark. There's a lot of history there. It's just an incredible setting. What was it like from the field?
See, and I think that's where I got spoiled in my career. I think ultimately, when that's your first one, I think you think it's normal. You think it's easy to go out and you have 55,000. You think that's just what every ballpark brings to the table, and it's so not true. It is home field advantage every night. The fan base is, to me, the best. There is something there every night that's just special.